following you on Twitter, some of your responses or reactions to some policy initiatives of the federal government through the CBN is something. Now, there is a concern that has been expressed multiple times by a particular patriotic viewer of this program, saying that, look, for as long as the CBN continues to pump Naira into the economy, we are really looking for trouble. Let me look at his message and read it out. He said, inflation is simply the expansion of money supply. I don't know if you agree with him. Failure to correctly define the problem has led other countries to Venezuela and Zimbabwe. Now he says this: as long as the CBN continues to supply the Naira into the economy, the value can never be stabilized. Do you agree with him?
Yes or no? Traditionally, central banks all over the world have managed inflation through two things, using two tools: interest rates and money supply tightening. That's a traditional way that they've always done it. And and if we look at what the CBN has done over the last 2 years, they've been doing that. They've raised MPR by almost 750 basis points, from 11-point-something% to 18.75 now. And I can tell you, if I had this crystal ball, that in the next MPC meeting, they will raise the MPR. So they are doing what they are doing. Not just that, also, they are also mopping up liquidity. They are, there's a lot of OMO issuance, and they are mopping up liquidity. So they are limiting Naira supply, to try to tighten inflation. But it has not worked. And that's the point I'm trying to raise, that it has not worked. It's not because it is not the right approach. The CBN has to do that. That's the only tools the CBN have. But there has to be a synergy between monetary policy and fiscal policy. There are some things the CBN cannot do. It has to be done by the government. Infrastructure, food security, supporting farmers, and all that, providing storage facility, working on the what you call the strategic reserves, things like that. That is the purview of fiscal policy. And so if there is no synergy between these two branches of government working in collaboration and synergy to make sure that we're targeting inflation, it has to come down, the CBN will just be doing what they're doing.
Do you see that collaboration happening?
In the beginning, I didn't, but with recent developments, I'm seeing that. I'm beginning to see that there's a lot more coordination going on, and I can only hope that that coordination leads to some sense of order. I'll give you an example. For instance, during the last interview that the CBN governor gave, he talked about intervention, and he said we do not have the luxury of failed interventions again. And what was the biggest intervention we had last time? Anchor borrowers, whatever. What happened to it? What happened to the money? The money was supposed to be for farmers, but it was done by the CBN. It's not the CBN's work. That's not the CBN's job. That is the Ministry of Finance. That is fiscal policy.
So that should have been done through a BOI or something.
Exactly. That should have been done, by the fiscal authorities. And what the CBN governor is saying is, we are going to focus on our core strength. We will leave intervention for those who should do that. And that tells me that there's some manner of communication going on between them.